We're going to take you through a wider demo of the Syncity AI platform, taking you through each of the 4 rooms, what they're for, and how you use them as a business to help you grow and achieve your outcomes. The system is based on these 4 rooms. Each one is to give you a sense of feeling of going into a room to perform certain tasks. So we will start in the performance room. Performance room is all about your outcomes. What do you want to achieve? What's your strategy? What's your annual plan? So you will see here in the back at the top, we've got your financial year strategy. If we click to edit that, you can see the strategy I've in here to get to 500 customers, state sharp positioning, and we've got limited amount of information, but enough to kind of plan out what that year looks like. We then have our goals, what we want to achieve. So we've put these in. We can view all of our goals for this quarter. You'll see there's an extra one. We track them, whether they're in discovery, on track, at risk. We've got all of our goals from the previous quarter, whether or not we finished them, completed them or not. So we're keeping track of our outcomes, what we're trying to achieve. Over on the right-hand side, then you'll see we've got the key decisions. And at the moment is a manual upload, but we plan to automate this through into the future, capturing transcriptions and notes. But effectively, you're going to upload and add a decision that the business has made. So you can think of this as trying to train the brain that sits behind the system. So you're telling it what you want to achieve, what your goals are, key decisions that you've made. As part of this, when you first sign into the system, you'll see a couple of questions that you're asked. So what does your business do? So I've put some text in there about what I do, describing your ideal client, current objectives, and then your location. So you can global, UK, break it down into towns or counties, depending on your exact business and where you are. So all of this is telling that brain what it is that you want to achieve, what your outcomes are for this year, but it gives you an easy way to track them, monitor them, and make sure that you're following through on what those are. At the end of each week, you can click on a weekly briefing and it pulls all the information from the various tabs into a short update that you can download and share. So that's the performance room, all about outcomes, capturing what's happening in the business, what you're doing, what you've done, decisions you've made. We then move into the briefing room. Briefing room is all about opportunities. So this is where we get slightly clever with the AI. So the brain knows everything that you want to do with your business. It knows what you want to achieve. What's that then doing is saying, here's a scout, go out, look at the internet, find me information, pull it back, and then I can judge whether or not that's something I want to present back to the user or to me in this instance. So you can see up here, my 4 scouts. I've got one looking at product information, one looking at risk and churn, one is looking at sales, and one is looking at marketing opportunities. So here is a marketing one. It's been given a score of 71 out of 100. It's a quick win, so I'll have a quick look at that one. Create 4 founder language 1-pagers that show inputs, outputs, owner actions, and 7-day outcomes per room. Use across homepage follow-ups and onboarding. Tells me why it surfaced it. I can see there April Dunford's name. She's incredibly good at product. I've just read her book actually, which is fairly random, but it's brought some assumptions as to why it's looked at this, why we should be looking at it. There's April Dunford's website, so that would take you through to her site if you want to do some additional reading, confidence of each of the sites based on them. We then go further, we give you an actual plan to implement this. So this one's got a 10-step plan that we can follow. And then there's some risks and downsides with mitigations, just so we're covering that off. So we know what that looks like, what the impact will be, what it says the effort will be, and where it aligns. So Q3 growth for us. If that's something I want to take forward, I assign it to the team. If not, I can hit dismiss and I can tell the brain why that's not something we're interested in currently. But you can see we've got scouts running constantly in the background. Because I use this to demo, I don't dismiss many of them. But if I was using it fully as my own system, every day I'd be opening this up, taking a look, what's come in, what do we want to take forward, what do we want to dismiss? And it might be that you dismiss a lot of these and only take 1 or 2 forwards, but that's exactly what the system's designed for. It's doing all of that background research and work for you so that you don't have to spend time, hours, or even hiring someone to go and do this work and pull this together. Just to pull one of these together for a single person would take them a number of hours, if not a full day. And if you're hiring someone, potentially could cost you up to, I don't know, £1,000 to bring someone in to do this work for you, to write you a plan, look at all the evidence and assumptions. It will bring back information on improving your sales, where you should look at that. On the product, we've got on here about invite nudge on first opportunity. So it's about improving the product that we sell. But if you want to create your own scouts, we've built some with templates. So whatever is interesting to you, SEO, product innovation, operations, risk, you can click that, tell it what it is. It's got some configuration options you can add to these. You can change them, you can improve them. That's up to you. So you're telling it what you're interested in, what it wants to be looking at. And then you run it every so often. That every hour might disappear soon because it's too much. It brings back too much information. I generally run my sales ones 3 times a week. I run marketing every Tuesday and Thursday. I run the product once a week or so, and the rest is the same. Each time it runs, it brings back 4 different opportunities. So it's not 1 per scout. It's normally about 4 per scout. And then you can create agent and run, or create and wait until the specified time. But effectively, that then goes off and finds this information. And as you can see, over the past few weeks, I've got lots of ideas, lots of opportunities to sit down and look through. So at the start of every single working day, I open the briefing room, I go in, I have a look what opportunities have been risen, and then I look at what to dismiss and what to take forward. That brings us to the team room. So when we're thinking about what we want to take forward, we also need ownership and accountability of those tasks. So what we're trying to do here is not create a massive board or a new system or anything like that. It's just a simple way to say, we've seen these opportunities that have come through. We know which area we're looking at, who's taking them forwards, and where are we at with them. And obviously any tags. And you can go through them based on what type they are. So if you've got certain people in certain teams, you can see how many they're working on and what's going forward. So it's not designed to be a massive CRM or a massive project planner. It's literally all about ownership and accountability. We've said this was a good idea. Before we forget about it, or I think you're doing it, you think I'm doing it, it goes nowhere. Let's just say you're doing it and let's monitor it through. Very straightforward. And then finally, we go into what is the intelligence room. And this really is about optimization. So if you think now, this will take a minute, so I'll talk over why it goes and does the search. But you're thinking now we've got information in the performance room. So that's all about the business, the outcomes we want to achieve, our annual plan, decisions we've made in the past, all of that information being put into the brain about what our business is and what it does. We've got some of that background business information that we put in when we first logged in, and you can update that as much as you want. We've then got all of the opportunities that we found in the briefing room, the ones we've dismissed and the ones we've said are a good idea and taken that forwards. Again, that's training that brain. Into the ownership and accountability room of the team room. Where are we with certain things? How far forwards are they? Have they moved? Have they not? And all of that is training this business brain to say, I understand what this business is, what it wants to achieve, and what it wants to get, what the outcome is that it wants to get to this year. In this room, in the intelligence room, we're now taking all of that data and information, plus everything that the AI models know about business. So all of these large language models that have been trained in many different types of business. Whether you agree with it or not and how it's been trained, that's up to you. But it has been every book that's kind of been written on business, every idea, every concept, they've all been trained on these. And effectively what you're doing is saying, based on this, everything you know about us, and based on how smart you are as an AI, go and look at what we should be looking at. So for this one, I just clicked top opportunities appeared this week. So where we're winning, it brings some ideas. It's not just a one small answer. What's underperforming? So we need to look at partnerships, late stage internal selling, our top 3 actions that we should be looking at immediately, and then any assumptions and data gaps. So it's bringing back more than just an answer. It's bringing back an answer plus a plan. But you can ask it anything that you want to about your business. What's working this quarter? What should I look at next quarter? What are the best things I could do for this business? Is it time to pivot and look at some other ideas? What's out there? So you're getting essentially a business brain that has all of your business knowledge, all of your updates, plus all of the knowledge of these large language models. Plus, it's giving you that opportunity to arise information to you, have that brought to you, presented to you in a way that's usable, that you probably don't have time to do as a business. Running a business, as we know, is hard. It takes a lot of time and effort. What we're trying to do is make that time and effort better. So the time and effort you're putting in to the business is because we're arising opportunities that are really clear, clean, and linked to what you want to achieve in a way that's really, really useful. So it's much more than just one of these AIs that people are using to have chats and conversations with, which is one-off. This is building everything around your business. Think about over time. So every time you use this, every time you update the quarterly goals, every time you update your strategy, every time you update decisions, every time you update opportunities that you're taking forwards or not, the brain is learning a little bit more about your business. So it's just going to get better and better and stronger and be able to help you more and more, and hopefully make running your business much simpler and much easier going forwards.